Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Dubai, there lived a kind-hearted 9-year-old boy named Martin. His family lived in a tall apartment building with a beautiful view of the city's skyline. But Martin's heart was bigger than the tallest tower. From a young age, Martin had always loved animals. He had a special bond with them, whether it was the birds in his backyard, the stray cats that roamed the streets, or the dogs in the park. Every time he saw an animal, he would make sure they were safe, loved, and cared for. One warm afternoon, as Martin was playing near his building, he heard a soft, pitiful meow coming from behind a pile of boxes near the alley. Curious, Martin walked closer and spotted a tiny kitten. It was weak, thin, and looked as though it hadn't eaten in days. Its fur was matted and dirty, and its big eyes were full of fear. Martin's heart immediately went out to the little creature. He knelt down, whispering softly to the kitten, "Don't worry, little one. I'll help you." He carefully picked up the kitten and cradled it in his arms. Martin rushed back to his apartment, where he told his parents about the kitten. His mother quickly gave him some money, and Martin ran to the nearest shop. He bought a small can of food and returned home. At home, he opened the can of food and placed it in a small bowl. He gently offered it to the kitten, who immediately began to eat. Martin watched with a smile as the kitten devoured the food, slowly regaining some strength. As the kitten ate, Martin felt proud. It wasn't just about feeding the hungry animal. It was about showing kindness and compassion. He knew that no creature, no matter how small, should be left hungry or scared. Martin spent the next few hours caring for the kitten. He made a little bed for it, gave it fresh water, and even played with it, making sure it felt safe. With every passing hour, the kitten grew stronger. The fear in its eyes started to fade, and it began to trust Martin more and more. As evening came, Martin's parents came home. They were amazed when they saw the kitten in their living room, looking much better than before. Martin explained how he had found it, how weak it was, and how he had bought food to feed it. His parents smiled proudly and praised Martin for his kindness. The next day, Martin decided to take the kitten to the nearby animal shelter, where it could get proper care and eventually find a loving home. The shelter staff was impressed by Martin's selflessness and thanked him for his generosity. Martin learned an important lesson that day. Helping others, no matter how big or small, brings a sense of fulfillment and happiness. And sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness can change the world for the better, one hungry kitten at a time. As he walked back to his apartment, Martin looked up at the Dubai skyline and smiled, knowing that every living creature, no matter how small, deserved love and care. He had made a difference, and that was the most beautiful feeling of all.